welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to use the powdered tomato and the bell pepper that we made in our previous video to make one of Nigerian favorite dishes, jollof rice, or what they call Spanish rice here in the United States. We are going to make shrimp jollof rice. The ingredients we have are 2 pounds of jumbo shrimp that has been deveined and cleaned. We have 1 tablespoon of powdered garlic that was homemade, 1 tablespoon of powdered red onions, also homemade. We have a few flakes of Thai basil. This smells amazing. This was also homegrown and dehydrated. We have oyster sauce, which we're going to use some of, light soya sauce that we're going to use. We have some chopped mixed bell pepper for garnish, 4 cups of boiled rice that we have washed to remove some of the starch. We have extra virgin olive oil, 4 cups of mixed vegetable, corn, beans, peas, and carrot. To start with, we are going to start by cooking the shrimp first. So let's go over to the stove top and start with that. To start with, we are going to use half a stick of butter, which we are going to place in the pan, allow to melt. You can choose to use diced garlic or minced garlic and fresh onions. I do not have any fresh onions. I dehydrated all my onions. To this, you could add like a tablespoon of olive oil. It is always important to cook with olive oil or avocado oil, coconut oil. Try and avoid seed oil because they are not really good for you. So now I'm going to add a tablespoon of onion powder and that of garlic. You can add this after you have added the shrimp or after you have cooked the shrimp. Either which way, it does not matter. The order does not matter. I just love the smell. Now I'm going to add the shrimps and mix. You can use any protein of your choice. I prefer seafood, in which case you would try and cook your meat till they're tender before you start cooking the rice. Cover the shrimp to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll fully season it. After about 3 minutes, we are now going to season it. I'm adding some of this seafood broil Asian flavor. It has a little bit of pepper. I'm seasoning this heavily because this is all the seasoning that I'm gonna need, except for maybe checking for salt when I cook the rice. Now we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of soya sauce and 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and we'll let it simmer for about a minute. Now we're going to take the shrimps out, leaving the sauce. And we're going to reduce the heat because we don't want the sauce to dry up. And we're going to set the shrimp aside. Next, we are going to add some of our powdered tomatoes. Now, you could make it into a sauce by adding a little bit of water, or you can just add the powder. I'm going to mix it a little bit with water as well to make the paste. Next, we're going to add our powdered bell pepper. You may want to add a little bit of water because you don't want it to burn. This is some of the tomatoes that I added water in. Probably need to add more water to it. So next, what we're going to do is to add the basil, add more of the water to get a little bit better consistency. I think this may be a little too much, so I'm gonna take some out just to ensure that it is not too much for the amount of rice that we're cooking. Now I'm gonna add the 4 cups of rice, all dry with no water in it. We just wanna make sure that it's completely mixed together. We are cooking this without any water. We wanna incorporate all the sauce into the rice. The reason why I'm cooking it this way is because I want the rice to be more in single units compared to having the rice clump up. But right now, it looks like it's clumping up. Don't worry, it will eventually separate. I was right to remove some of that, so it would have been too much. So all you want to do is to continue to stir this until the whole thing is incorporated into the rice and it begins to separate into single unit or into single grain. Now at this point, you can season to taste. This may take some time. You just have to keep stirring it and don't allow it to burn. You can stir, leave first a little bit and then come back and stir. But you never want to let it burn. After about 10 minutes, you can see that the rice have separated all into single grain. You want to keep cooking it until it looks like it's translucent. Then next, what you want to do is we want to add the shrimp and mix it. This is also the time to add the vegetables. Vegetable is optional. This water is not enough. So what we want to do is when you add the liquid, you want it to come up to the side. So we're going to add additional liquid. You want to add the liquid until you see see it kind of steaming out on the side right there. You can see how it's bubbling up on the side. That's when you know that that's enough liquid. Then the next thing you want to do is to cover it. You cover with the parchment paper first, then you cover with the cover. The reason why you're doing that is so that the condensation from the cover does not add to the water that you already have, so it doesn't get soggy. And then we'll reduce the heat to medium heat and we'll let it simmer to cook until the rice is tender. We'll come back and check on it. After about 20 to 25 minutes, you want to check it, make sure that the rice is tender. You're not really supposed to turn it because you don't want it to burn. But if you have a non-stick pan, and at this point you can also check it for taste for salt and pepper. This is really good, and you can see the rice is separating. Still a little bit of water, but it is cooked, and we are just going to let it dry up some more, but you don't want it to burn. Now, if you have a non-stick, you can afford to do what I'm doing, but if you have a pan that is not non-stick, you may not want to do that because the bottom will burn. So we're going to cover it some more. We're just waiting for it to dry so that everything will be single grain, and then we'll finally add our chopped bell peppers for garnish at the end. We'll give it a few more minutes. After about 5 minutes, we're going to take a look, and look at that. This is single grain rice, or what you would call smoked rice in Nigeria. It has a different type of taste, almost like a smoked taste. Look at that. The rice are all single grain, not clumped up. For our final garnish, I'm gonna add this 1 cup of mixed bell pepper. And you don't really want to cook the bell pepper, and after we add it and mix it together, we just turn the heat off. We want that bell pepper to be crunchy. Time to serve it up after it has cooled down. Now, you can serve it up different ways. For me, I'm trying to make a mold. If you want a square mold, you can get a square plate, and that's what I'm doing right here. Now, let's get back over to the table and have a taste. We are done, and that smells amazing. It looks great, and it is now time for that taste test. Let's try it. It is so good. My goodness. Try and get some of the shrimp. That warms your soul. My God. Boy, this is the famous Nigerian jollof rice. If you ever want to try this at home, send the video or at least tell us how you like it. I promise you, once you try it, you'll keep cooking it all the time. If this video has been of value to you, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that we can notify you when we upload new video. This is Dr. OK. Thank you and God bless. Now I have to finish this. Yeah.